Welcome to Testing the Space, the podcast where you can learn how to make your dreams come true. This is episode 13. We have a doozy for you today. A lot of stuff happening in the market. A lot of crashes, all altcoins going to zero, or maybe not really. We have Bitcoin dropping very hard to 27K where it wicked down to. So this bear market is starting to unravel with a lot of the altcoins, and I'm happy that I'm still here and able to bring you a podcast, and I want to bring some joy in this episode. So without further ado, we're going to go right into my man Jake and cover the Bitcoin and blockchain news for you.
Thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening. This is Jake with your Lightning Crypto News. Today we have a lot of individuals and companies talking about how fucked up the market is. The market is absolutely kind of crazy right now. It is tanking. We're going to talk about the levels in terms of what that looks like, and I mean, it's big news. And that's kind of all the news I have for you, because realistically, everything I've fucking seen has been the bad shit that is coming out from the companies, kind of the fluff that they like to throw out there in terms of the crypto market, because that's what they do. That's what they do. They drive the price down, and that's that. So we're going to go straight into everything else that we have here. And I'm going to hand it off to Jake to talk about the fucking chart on UST right now.
No, I was just looking at USDT.
Oh, yeah, USDT.
That bitch just almost depegged. It went down to 95 cents. That's not a good sign. That has billions of dollars. There's no stable coin safe right now. The safest probably USDC, because it's how it's collateralized is a little bit more public. So probably the safest one. None of this is financial advice. I just want to keep that clear, because we are going to talk about some tips that you can do maybe to help yourself and to stack some different strategies during the bear market that I am personally trying to do.
I'm also doing, to be honest.
And, but I don't know, parking your money, it might be the safest play. And I saw on certain exchanges they're offering USD coin.
USD coin?
Which is so
What
funny.
the fuck?
Which is just back to fiat, but
Yeah.
but it's tokenized.
Interesting.
So
Did
probably
you not change your socks today?
no. I just changed them.
Oh, my feet must stink.
I just changed them. They don't stink. USDC is probably the safest. I wouldn't feel comfortable with holding USDT right now with what's happening. They're probably gonna try to target that shit next. That has ramifications across every single thing in the crypto space. Same with UST. USDT does tons of stuff with DeFi. So yeah, a lot of shit happening.
A lot of shit
The
happening.
main thing is Terra unraveling, which it sucks. I've never seen. I don't think it's ever happened before. A top 10 crypto within 48 hours going from like $50 to literally 1/1000th of a penny.
It wasn't even that. After 24 hours, it was at $50 from its, what was it, like 99, I think. It was around, well, it was like 84 to 99 bucks the last couple months. But in a day, so 24 hours, it dropped to like $50, and then in less than 24 hours after that, it was at $1. And now it's at like fucking less than Dogecoin levels,
Yeah.
like you said.
So basically, there was too much. The UST couldn't match up once it depegged a little bit. It couldn't match. There was just a domino effect. The UST couldn't match with the Luna burn, and then you just have millions and billions of Luna in circulation now, getting minted every minute. So I don't know what they're going to do to try to fix this problem. I honestly don't have enough knowledge to. They got a war room working right now, I'm sure, around the clock on how to address different issues with this, and I'm still hopeful that they will
Figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, my best. So basically, maybe Luna should rebrand as just a layer 1 and say fuck the UST. It will completely evaporate their current ecosystem, and they'd have to start from scratch as just a base layer base layer 1, kind of like Solana.
It's an option, though probably a less viable option the way they're looking at it right now. But like, if it continues to fucking slide, I like, what other choice? There aren't that many choices.
You're gonna come down with inevitably a few options, I think, as this unravels more. But he'll have ramifications across a lot of different ecosystems, like Atom. I mean, Atom, AVAX, they hold a lot of AVAX in their treasury. You could see those tokens kind of slam down once that happens, but that's a great buying opportunity because once that's cleaned out and threshed out, that just paves the way to them by itself. They've always been good crypto, so I wouldn't worry about that.
One thing that I saw specifically is that they didn't disclose it, but 84% of the assets that the Terra Luna, or I guess you could say organization as a whole, holds in physical assets or some kind of assets that are non-crypto related. They didn't disclose what it was, but it was 84%, and then the other 16% was backed by crypto. So I don't, I read that through Blockworks. I read that on Blockworks News, so they didn't really disclose anything. Maybe they're just trying to make sure that there's not as much FUD associated with what the fuck's going on. But they didn't disclose anything, so who knows what those physical assets are. But if they're not fucking lying about it, that could help them in the long run to making a comeback.
So yeah, that's really all I have to say about UST. I'm just watching it day by day, see what happens, see what news comes out. Could take months, years, decade. Who knows? Maybe it'll come back.
Who knows? If it goes back to $1, I'll make $30,000. That's all I know.
Not financial advice. You could take a small gamble here. I mean, what the fuck?
You could throw $20 in and it's over. It's like 20k Luna right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, $20. Again, not financial advice, but fuck, if it goes back to $1, you make $20,000. So, is it worth the risk? Personally, yeah, because if it does something and you threw $20 at it, that's like going to a bar for a couple drinks. You ain't missing out on that much by doing so. You can put more into it if you want, but obviously that's just more money into probably the biggest gamble in crypto right now. So, it's kind of up to you.
So some of the cryptos that I'm looking at stacking during this bear market is ETH, with the ETH merge coming hopefully sometime this summer, late summer. Matic, the transactional layers for Ethereum. I think that they'll do well if that merge happens. Maybe we can get the perfect storm and have the ETH merge happen right around where a Fed pivot comes into play.
That's true, and when it comes to Ethereum, because they're becoming Ethereum 2.0, they're going to be a lot more environmentally friendly, they're going to be a lot faster in terms of their transactions, and overall, I think, we were talking earlier this week, and you were looking at seeing like a buy point at about 1,500, 1,750.
Yeah, anything below 2,000 to me is a good point to start stacking. One bear market strategy you can have is just set bids, like tiered dollar cost average bids in, like for Ethereum, 2K, under 2K, like 1,800, 1,650, 1,500. That way you're DCAing all the way down, and if it goes to $900, whatever, just sit on your hands and
that's the name
let
of the
the
game.
Let the play unfold.
That's the name of the game. DCA, dollar cost average down on whatever you hold right now, because based on most of the people in the market that are kind of just in it to try and make money, I very much assume that they realistically bag held, like they're holding onto their crypto. So if you don't DCA, who knows when it's going to go back to the levels that it was at before, around 50k. It could be this year, it could be 3 years from now. It's kind of up to how everything continues to capitulate when it comes to how far Bitcoin's going to go down, which levels could be.
Yeah, the Bitcoin's tied heavily to SPX right now in the equities market, traditional finance. This, honestly, like what we've never seen crypto so heavily tied to traditional finance. If you think about it, though, crypto, with how much now people see it as a macro backdrop, is like crypto is slowly merging into traditional finance. And that's honestly like a really good sign for long term.
That's going to stick
because
around.
it's just going to become another pillar of investing.
And even through this bear market, I've seen multiple financial institutions. The only, if you want to call it positive news that I've really seen over the last couple days is that there's still financial institutions adding it for retirement options.
Yeah.
Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like it's still a thing.
That's why people say with all the UST shit that regulation is coming even faster, which it will be, inevitably. But it doesn't have to be looked at so negatively either, as like regulation just gives clear guidance for bigger investors and bigger handlers as crypto gets more matured, is that and more moves into traditional finance. You have more of like clear guidance when it comes of how to allocate and move bigger percentages of your portfolio for higher holders and people who can allocate more to Bitcoin on their balance sheet.
So when it comes to retail investors though, like what is your strategy?
Kind of what I mentioned before, just find comfortable. I mentioned my points of entry that I look to. Personally, I would look to focus more on the blue chips that have stood its ground. One reason why I mentioned Avalanche is because it actually, those cryptos that were released in a bear market, like Link and Avalanche, it was released in a bear market, and those multiples typically are higher in a bull market.
Which makes sense to me, and those two, I was going to tell you my list actually, so you could pick out any of the ones that might be shitty. I'm gonna be honest, but those two are actually on my list, and I actually hold both AVAX and Chainlink right now that I'm dollar cost averaging down on. But the other ones that I was gonna probably find a purchase point for, definitely Solana. You know me and Solana. DOT was the other one, and then obviously NEAR, because I think NEAR could go to $5, and $5 NEAR is kind of crazy.
I would
probably lower.
Personally, I would get rid of NEAR and
you think so?
NEAR and DOT myself.
Interesting. Why is that?
Because there's a statistic I saw on DOT. Well, NEAR, first of all, I don't think it does well at all until next bull market.
You don't think so?
I think Solana has a lot more catalysts when it comes to different things that are happening even in this bear market that you could get more price. I would focus more on the blue chips. DOT, I've never personally been that big of a fan of it. Mm-hmm. They have like a negative, I can't remember the statistic, but it was DOT and Phantom both had negative active growth the last like year.
That's kind of bad.
Yeah, and Avalanche, Solana, ETH all had close, like above 50% active users increase. Avalanche just broke a record last week for active users.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Solana is still sitting at $40 plus.
Yeah. This shit with Luna just drops another Phantom Luna. See you later for L1s. This just puts in the spotlight ETH, Solana, Avalanche. I mean, and those to me are going to be like the blue chip layer ones
that stick around.
Yeah.
Well, because when you think about it, ETH, the first layer one, definitely not going anywhere. Like you can pretty much say that it's not going anywhere as long as the crypto market sticks around, which realistically it should, because institutional investors are still opening their doors to the opportunity for people to put it in their portfolio, like you said.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the other blue chips, like Solana's NFT market is fucking insane, and I don't think that that's gonna really go anywhere. And then AVAX has DeFi gaming.
Yeah, Solana Summers definitely could be a thing.
Yeah,
still.
You could just see it go up anyway.
And yeah, so my ETH merge would be a pick. Bitcoin, because all this bullshit happening shows the light on why Bitcoin's so fucking good. Like, this is the reason why people stack Bitcoin, is because the motherfucker is resilient. Yeah. It's so decentralized. It's by far the most decentralized. So, I mean, this is where people start turning to as not a safe haven, but an asset to where it's proven itself to hold through. So, you can't go wrong with Bitcoin, and more people will realize that and start buying back into Bitcoin as they see those value areas.
And as you see those value areas too, you got to think, so if Bitcoin's the pillar of the opportunity to invest with as much safety as possible when it comes to the crypto market, as you go down to the, other blue chips, obviously Solana and AVAX are going to be a little bit more risky, but also less risky than those other L1s or layer zeros that are out there that just might not hold in a bear market. I mean, ETH, obviously, personally, I don't think ETH's going to go anywhere regardless of if it drops anyway.
No.
But those other ones, you got to think, you go Bitcoin, safest, ETH, also pretty safe because it's the number one and they're upgrading to 2.0. And then as you go along, you're going to get more risky as you go.
I'm just saying if ETH merge happens around Fed pivot, that bitch is going, I'm not kidding you. They've literally foreshadowed the most bullish thing that's probably ever happened in crypto. No bias here. They're literally giving you the time and they're saying this is around when it's gonna happen. They're foreshadowing. That's never really happened as much in crypto, where they're literally giving you a roadmap on when they're probably gonna do it, when it's gonna take place. But if it happens to fall around a time where it's a good macro outlook, the shit's gonna teleport. I'm not kidding you. It's probably gonna how we saw ETH went from 1,500 to literally 4K in a matter of weeks. This is gonna be way more bullish than that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What do you think Matic's gonna go to? So Matic is at about 50 cents right now.
I just think the reason why Matic is so good because yeah, the ETH merge that'll boost up ETH, Bitcoin. It'll boost up the whole market. It'll boost up Bitcoin. Bitcoin will probably follow too with ETH. The reason Matic too is because all those transactional things happening with ETH, all that money is going to trickle into Matic. It's as more people buy NFTs, cheaper, use ETH, Matic, as that becomes more use cases, like you say on OpenSea, now you can buy a lot of the NFTs through Matic. Games, they're going to have so many more transactions where most of the transactions won't take place on Ethereum, and inherently that will increase the price of Matic.
And Matic or Polygon also has their own NFT marketplace.
Yeah.
So that's just another asset that you can attach to that and say, well, if these other layer ones are having a tough go, I mean, even, you've been slightly involved with the brand new NFT AVAX market, and that could help with the transactions and how that ends up standing later on too, because I mean, AVAX NFT market extremely undervalued. You said that yourself. I completely agree with you.
If you check it out, it's super the volume is 50 AVAX.
Yeah, it's not really anything. And that's an opportunity for an investment though, because in a year that could look very similar
it'll
to
change.
Solana.
All this NFT shit isn't going away. It's only going to get more utility, and whether people see that or not, if they still can't see the reason why, I think you do need to do more research and understand why the fuck so many people are so excited about it, and it'll take the time to learn that this stuff is not just a freaking JPEG. Yeah. It's gonna come back. There's a lot more being worked on, and there's only gonna be unique and more opportunity for NFTs.
Do you have any AVAX NFTs that you'd shout out right now?
Yeah, Appa Party Animals is one of them that I think is a blue chip on Avalanche, because it was one of the first original collections on Avalanche.
Yeah, and I've seen them. That's actually your PFP right now.
Yeah, and it's the most widely able to be bought through their different marketplaces right now.
Okay.
Not all their marketplaces like Kalau.io, Campfire, JPEGs, which are all pretty new. You can't find all the collections on each one, but Appa Party Animals is on every single exchange or marketplace, I should say.
So it's the most blue chip you've found.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys have been struggling with your portfolios like I have, I mean, we're all going through some shit right now. So don't feel bad. We're all in this stuff together. We're all learning, and take this time to really appreciate the small stuff that you have. I mean, I try to take care of my health, try to focus on not just the money aspect. Don't sit and watch charts all day. Have a plan that you can stick to that incorporates time, like that DCA strategy that you can do, and just, enjoy your life.
And then do what
outside
I do.
it.
Just drink.
Drink some beer and have some fun. The bear market has opportunity, and if you can't if you just see it as price action and not opportunity, you're never gonna win in the end. So keep plugging away, keep learning, and good things will happen. It'll come back. What goes around comes around.
So if you had to think, this is probably a hard question, but if you had to choose a couple cryptos that you think are gonna fucking tank and fail during this bear market, who would you pick?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I said hard question. Like, if you had to just
that haven't already.
Yeah,
tanked?
that haven't already like completely went to fucking floor. Like, who do you think is not gonna come back, even if it's just one or two?
I'm a bit worried about Harmony. I think there's still a lot of promise though for games, and I've been following a developer that's still trying to like be a beacon for their development, because a lot of their developers have kind of went quiet on Harmony. So I think as long as it gets some good direction and a team that still wants to continue to work on it, I mean, I don't think it could. But one thing about Harmony though is that shit, it gets so much flack, but I use it still with DeFi Kingdoms. That shit has never gone down. It gets so much shit, but it's like, it still works perfect. It never changed throughout all the volatility. But it gets shit on because it's just like, it's one of the smaller layer ones. And maybe rightfully so, but it hasn't failed me yet. And a lot of these big ones, Avalanche, Solana, ETH, they've all had their hiccups when it comes to this volatility. So, I mean, that's a win for Harmony.
Yeah, you never know, especially for such a low cap layer one.
Man.
I mean, think about like, okay, here, I'll help you a little bit. Is there anything because I know we've had a whole podcast on the Cosmos ecosystem. Is there anything in the Cosmos ecosystem that you're like, yeah, that shit's done?
Not really.
No?
I'm kind of worried about the DeFi primitive stuff, like, because the reason
primitive.
the OG DeFi's like, I mean, Aave, CRV, like Balancer, Ox, all like DeFi lending borrowing protocols. The only reason that I'm kind of worried about those is because this space moves so fast, and somebody's gonna come out with like, they already had DeFi 2.0. Like, what's the next phase of DeFi that
3.0
that these cryptos just, because this next bull run, when it happens, I still believe in the cycles, not the diminishing return bullshit, whatever. If you think there is more cycles, there's going to be a bunch of new cryptos that take the spotlight, and a lot of these charts that you're seeing now could just be a fucking flat line. Yeah. So
I mean, it's hard to choose, right? Like, you have no idea what is gonna be there next time, because it literally happened in 48 hours.
Yeah, that's why focusing on blue chips that you like, ETH, Bitcoin, my opinion, are more what you should focus on, not buying these super low cap alts, because those are just battle tested and they're not going to go away. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents.
And I've always been bullish on Solana and AVAX, and I think overall, because of the way that they're built and how much influence they have in the crypto space in general, they're probably going to stick around. I really don't believe that they're going to go anywhere. I don't think the communities are going to let them go anywhere, personally. Those communities that are out there in relation to it are going to make sure that they continue to have some sort of success even in a bear market, because that's how communities work. I mean, if people stick around not just for the money, but they stick around for the community, that's kind of how stuff sticks. That's how stuff doesn't fucking fail.
Yeah, if you consider it like more traditional financing, if it has product and still users and is generating revenue, I mean, that's really all you need, is those good fundamentals that keep it in place. I just worry a lot of these DeFi protocols will be a ghost chain if you can have some super nice DeFi protocol that just offers way more utility than some of these older ones.
Yeah, there could be one that comes out.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, there's going to be one that comes out. You just have no idea what the fuck is going to be. And I mean, knowing you're probably going to be fucking moving your phalanges pretty fast trying to find out
Yeah, I'm going
fuck
to
it
stay up
is.
to date with the market, and I'll make sure to let you guys know as soon as I know what protocol that is. Because it's coming, and there will be some new stuff, and everybody likes the new shiny toy, so
That's
I'm going to
always
just have to wait and see.
That's always a good fucking fling to throw something into, at least. You know, you never know what it's going to do. Another one that I really like is Chainlink. Chainlink, you've said in the past that Chainlink is actually one of the most held tokens in wallets across the board next to Bitcoin.
In cold storage.
Yeah, in cold storage. And to me and to you, I think that means that realistically it's probably going to stick around as like a blue chip because of what that means.
Well, put it this way. Without Link, all that shit that you're seeing with real-time market data with like being able to buy at certain prices and stuff would not be possible. The reason why you're seeing real-time prices and like volatility, which is a blessing, volatility is because there's opportunity in that, is because of Link, volume weighted average price over time weighted average price. You'd be getting so many skewed prices and shit because the price action has moved so fast in the last 2 days that you wouldn't have any real-time data, and you need that statistics and all that information to make decisions. So
And that's all Chainlink?
mostly Chainlink.
That's fucking crazy. So like Chainlink probably not specifically going anywhere either in that sense.
The only problem it has is it needs more utility as a token holder. Like the overall protocol is good, but they need more incentivization to buy
like staking.
Chainlink.
Staking would be good.
They do offer Chainlink staking now.
How much is it though?
I have
You
no
don't know?
idea.
You know, I don't want to throw a random number out there, but I vaguely remember taking a peek at it at some point, and I think it's 6 or 7%.
Yeah, Chainlink staking's relatively new, but I'm sure they'll find ways to incentivize holding the token more. Airdrop.
Airdrop. I'm still waiting on fucking airdrops from all the shit that I own with with fucking Cosmos. Where's all that shit?
Yeah.
Where's my ZK Sync?
That's another one. Optimism and ZK Sync are gonna be getting tokens soon. They're wait. It's hilarious because they're working. They're waiting for those token releases on the most bullish time that they can, and if it happens at the right time, the stars align. Wow, it's gonna be a sight to behold.
Wow.
Honestly, I have no other words though. If that doesn't get you excited, and to know that opportunity exists now, I don't know what else to tell you.
Let's just say wow at the same time. Ready?
Wow.
That's funny.
So I'm fucking bullish on that ETH merge if it happens. Give that fucking Fed pivot, damn it, Jerome Powell. Quit being so goddamn hawkish. Figure this inflation bullshit out. Let's get this shit over with.
It's all inflation, dude. That's the shit that's fucking everything up. It's fucking inflation that's fucking everything up.
Everything's high. US,
Including me. Just kidding.
U.S. mortgage rate, 30-year
today.
high. Not the high, but 30-year mortgage rates bumping up. So nobody wants to buy a house in this market.
Yeah, I mean, houses, my house is...
Rent's going up, though.
Yeah, rent's going up.
Can't afford rent.
Nope.
Gas is going up.
Can't
Food's
afford
going
that.
up.
Food's going up.
My eggs are going up.
My house, I'm not going to tell you guys the price of my house, but I could sell it for like almost 35% more than I bought it for 2 years ago. And that's fucking crazy. Like, I really don't know what else to say about that. Like, the amount of inflation across the board with everything, it's got to come to... It's weird, though, because, like, the markets for crypto and stocks are so down that, like, everything else is up, but that's all down. So it's going to flip-flop eventually, you would think. Like, realistically, because people are going to move their money into different markets, and when people move their money into different markets, that's when shit flips like that. Flips on its head.
Yeah, well, stay the course. Hang in there. Hang in there, lads. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
Wag me, but the opposite. Inverse wag me.
Inverse wag me. Oh my god.
We're all bag holders now.
Lowest Bitcoin level.
I don't think it drops below 20.
You don't think so?
No.
I know for a fact it's sitting at about 28 right now. It kind of dipped capitulation wise to about 25,500. Definitely could see it drop below that level. I think worst case scenario, it goes to like 18.
Psychologically wise, though, listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, your induced rationale is that you think it'll drop lower. That's like a psychology sentiment right there.
So what do you think it's going to end up being?
Like, that's the fear that you feel. So that's like, could be a signifier on a great time to dollar cost average.
Well,
I'm serious.
I
though.
know you're serious.
It's like reverse like, if you're like, okay, 25, yeah, I mean, this thing could go lower. That fear inducement alone should be a signal to you that that's a good time to start entering. Because everybody's like, you know, I'm a little worried that's where we saw actual capitulation with alts. Is they're like, this shit's dropped so much, it's just gonna keep dropping. It's gonna go to 1.
Bags.
It's gonna keep going. And we saw a true capitulation event the last 2 days across the board. So
My bags.
you just gotta get comfortable and embrace it.
That's really what I got.
Yeah, same here. I just wanted to shed a little insight on what we're thinking, what's happening, and nobody's alone in the market. It's all
We're all tanking together.
big old doozy, but long-term bullish as shit.
DCA, baby!
Long-term bullish as
Who
shit.
gives a shit? I already fucking, from the get-go, when we started this podcast, I was already buying shit, expecting to hold it for 5 years. That's why I bought into projects.
We're still making this podcast in the bear market.
Yeah,
We're still here. We're going to continue to bring you content every week. We're going to continue in the darkest days. We're going to keep fighting, and we're going to help bring our audience up to where we are.
Just wait.
Not where we are.
Just wait.
I'm not in any good standing. But,
just wait. This shit.
average retail plebs who aren't in the crypto space, bringing them up to where we are. That's what I should say.
We're going to go from a bear to a wolf market pretty soon here, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Bear to a wolf. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to episode 13 of Testing the Space during the bear market showdown that we're currently facing. I'm Jake.
And I'm Jake.
And make your dreams come fucking true.